Did you know your cat has a secret way of saying, "I love you"? But here's the catch. They're waiting for you to speak their language first. Forget cuddles and verbal "I love yous." Cats find these human habits downright puzzling and sometimes intimidating. So how do you break the language barrier and tell your cat you love them in a way they'll actually understand? Number 1. Exchange kitty kisses. Cats are masters at relaxing, so it's no surprise that they've perfected the art of lazy "I love yous." True to form, they even disguise it as sleepiness. They can't make it too easy for you to know what they're thinking after all. Did you know that their slow, sleepy blinks when they stare at you are the equivalent of a kiss? Your kitty isn't falling asleep at all. They're actually giving you a very subtle, heartwarming sign that you're their favorite person. These slow blinks are known as kitty kisses, and they're how cats show their affection without moving an inch. Or being too obvious. They're super easy to mimic too. When you catch your cat staring at you, gaze back and slowly close your eyes before opening them again. The best part is they'll understand every blink. Number 2. Pounce, play, purr. You know the saying, all work and no play makes your cat very mad. Okay, that might not be exactly how it goes, but it's still valid. Cats are hunters. Even your super fluffy cuddle monster who never goes outside. They love to stalk and pounce on their unsuspecting prey, whether it's their catnip mouse or your toes. Playtime gives them a way to practice their hunting skills. While some cats are happy to play by themselves, they know playtime is more fun with friends. Their favorite part is when you join in. Not only do they get to show off their hunting skills, but they get to enjoy quality time with you. Engaging in playtime with your cat helps to build a positive relationship between you. It strengthens the bond of trust and love and is an excellent way to show your cat you adore them. Number 3. Baker, baker, biscuit maker. They might be a mighty hunter, but your feline has other talents too. For one, they're excellent at finding the coziest napping spots. Part of this comes down to their secret career as master bakers. Shush! Don't tell them we told you. Kneading is a habit cats learn in kittenhood when they're nursing from their mother. As they grow, cats need to make their bedding more comfortable. The scent glands in their paws also mean kneading helps them mark their possessions. Guess what? This includes you. When your cat jumps onto your lap and starts making biscuits, they're not just trying to make themselves comfortable. They're claiming you as their own, and in cat language, that's a very high honor. Kneading also lets them show affection. So by allowing them to knead you, you're showing you love them too. Number 4. Pause and predictability. If you do the same thing day in and day out, you're bound to find it a little boring. After all, routine usually means work or chores when you'd rather do something else, like hanging out with friends or going to see that new movie. Cats are the complete opposite. They adore knowing when something is about to happen and when. A stable routine gives them a sense of security. It tells them they don't have to worry when their next meal will be, or doubt how safe their bed is. They're even more appreciative when they know what to expect from you. Building a routine for your cat allows them to feel closer to you. They'll know when you wake up and go to sleep, or when you sit down to eat or relax for the evening. They also learn when to expect you home from work. When they're feeling particularly grateful for your routine, they'll even meet you at the door. Number 5. Brushing up on love. Cats love to be clean and to look their best. So much so that a healthy, happy cat will spend up to 50% of their day grooming themselves. To us, it might seem excessive. But their dedication to grooming is the reason why their coat always looks sleek, shiny, and presentable. Have you noticed your kitty licking you too, especially when you pet them? This is because they don't just groom themselves to stay clean. They also use grooming to build bonds with their family members. It's not just the other cats in the house that earn this honor. You As a cat parent, an oddly giant, very clumsy cat are part of your cat's family too. Licking your fingers, hand, or arm while you pet them is your cat's way of saying they care about you. This is why grooming their fur is the perfect way to say, "I love you," in a way they understand. You'll help strengthen your bond, help keep their fur looking beautiful, and even help to reduce hairballs. Regular grooming sessions can even help you detect potential health issues your cat might have, such as skin infections, injuries, or lumps. Number 6. Love at first bite. Not every cat is food-oriented enough to do absolutely anything for food. Some prefer playtime or scratches, but they appreciate a good meal nonetheless. The tastier the better. A reliable way to any cat's heart is through their stomach. Making sure your cat's meals are healthy and nutritious is one thing. But do you make sure they're tasty too? Cats have likes and dislikes when it comes to food, the same as we do. Could you imagine eating something day in and day out when you hate the flavor or the texture? Ew, no thanks. Well, cats think the same way. In fact, they're notoriously picky about what they eat. Even when they seem to eat everything they're not supposed to. Ensuring you choose cat food that they like goes a long way to showing you care. But you need to have variety too. Rotating between several of your cat's favorite flavors will keep their mind active, their stomach happy, and their mouth watering whenever they hear you approach their bowl. Just don't make a sudden abrupt shift in your cat's food. This can cause stomach upsets. You can even make homemade cat treats to supplement a healthy diet. Treats don't just encourage good behavior, they can benefit your cat's immune system and enrich their lives. Plain chicken is a popular favorite, but you can use other meat and fish too. It might seem boring to your taste buds, but a lot of human food is toxic to cats. As long as the meat is well cooked with no additional seasonings, ingredients, or flavors, your cat will be happy and healthy. They'll know you love them, but don't feed them too much. A happy cat has a healthy, balanced diet with plenty of activity to prevent obesity. Number 7. Petting do's and don'ts. Cats aren't just fussy about the food they eat. They're particular about when and how you pet them too. They also get very offended if you don't pet them right, and don't even think of touching them when they're not interested. Fortunately for us cat parents, cats aren't shy about talking about their petting preferences. You just need to know how to listen. If your cat moves away when you touch them, this is your signal to change how you're petting them, or leave them alone. Areas like the legs, belly, and tail are often no-touching zones. Some cats are the exception, and those rarely permitted belly scratches are a thrill. But pay close attention to your cat's preferences to avoid upsetting them or damaging their trust. If they're unhappy, you might even end up with a nasty scratch when they show their displeasure. Play it safe by focusing on their head, cheeks, and chin. These areas have scent glands and are a big win when it comes to petting your cat. Pay attention to when they move away though. If they get overstimulated, they prefer to be left alone for a while. Taking a step back and respecting their preferences says, "I love you too." Number 8. Bonk. You're theirs. There's something about the word headbutts that just sounds painful, even without actually going through with it. To be honest, we'd rather avoid them and certainly don't go around headbutting our friends. So why do cats enjoy it so much? Do they just have very hard heads? Or is there something else motivating them to collide with objects, and you, head first? In the last section, we talked about the scent glands in a cat's head, cheeks, and chin. These glands are why your cat adores headbutting you. This is because scent is important to cats. They use it to explore the world around them, mark their territory, and distinguish friends from foes. Headbutting you isn't their way of telling you to go away, as it might appear. It's the complete opposite. It's a sign of affection, and your cat is marking you as theirs. If you move away when they try to headbutt you, they'll wonder what they did wrong and why you don't want their attention. They might think you don't love them at all. As cat parents, any affection from our cat is greatly appreciated. Number 9. Space is the place. Have you ever gotten so worn out that you just want to be left alone to nap? Sometimes social interaction is just too much work. Your cat understands this feeling too. They're the truest introverts among us. If they want to be left alone, they'll wander off to their cat tree or find a quiet spot under the bed, well out of reach. Wherever your cat ends up napping, and it might be the oddest spot imaginable, don't be tempted to interrupt them. The spot they found is cozy and warm. Most importantly, it's quiet. Okay, letting them have time to themselves does seem like an odd way to show you love them, but it works. Your cat values their personal space and alone time. They'll understand you love them simply by you giving them space and allowing them to come to you. Number 10. Ready, set, hide. If your love language is spending time with your cat, it can feel odd to leave them on their own. Even if you know they're happy on their own for a while, it can feel as though you're failing them in some way. What if it isn't enough to show them you care? What if, somewhere in the cat-human language barrier, they miss what you're trying to tell them? Luckily, there's a way you can actively show your cat you love them even by leaving them alone. How? Leave plenty of beds around the house, in all sorts of places. A variety of different beds will give your cat plenty of options on where to sit depending on their mood too. Perhaps they want to hide away in a cozy condo, or they want to sunbathe on that open perch at the top of their cat tree. A scrunched up blanket on your bed is an epic treat too. Don't forget to put some beds in quieter areas as well. As counterintuitive as it sounds, hiding spaces are a win with cats. They love to hide when they feel overwhelmed. It helps them relax during stressful situations until they feel safe enough to emerge. Sometimes a quiet, cozy, and safe hideaway says, "I love you," more than a warm hug. Number 11. Bedtime bodyguards. With all these cat beds around the house, why does your cat still sleep with you? Do they not like any of the beds after all? But you saw them snoozing in at least 3 different spots throughout the day. Sleeping with you isn't just because your blanket is softer than theirs, or that they think your bed is theirs and they're letting you borrow it. It's not even because your bed is warmer, although that is also a reason. But even the most aloof cat needs social interaction sometimes. This could be demanding a scratch behind the ears or sneaking into your bed when you're asleep. Curling up for a cat nap with friends is a sweet way to refill their need for social interaction without being overstimulated by it. It's also a way for them to feel safe while they snooze. Sleeping is a very vulnerable position to be in, and there's safety in numbers. Cuddling with you while you sleep shows they trust you to keep them safe. It's also a way for them to protect you while you snooze the night away, especially since you take catnap to the extreme. Does anyone truly need 8 hours of sleep a night? Really? Letting your cat sleep with you, or in the same room if they prefer not to get too close, is a great way to cuddle and share the love. Number 12. Don't move. There's nothing worse than finally getting comfortable and then having to move. Cats don't like to be disturbed either. Once they settle on your lap, they'll be most displeased if you start fidgeting. It's not their fault that you were about to get up when they sat on you. If you really needed to go to the bathroom, you should have moved faster. You might feel like a cat bed yourself whenever your cat sits on you, but it's for good reason. The disgruntled kitty glare from your cat if you move too much is bone-chilling. Once they decide to sit on you, that's it. You're stuck. Fortunately, the more time you sit still and do the perfect example of a cat bed, the more your cat will understand you love them. Besides, if that ringing phone is important, they'll call back. How often do you get to convince your cat to cuddle without enticing them first? Number 13. Cat flicks and chill. Boredom isn't fun for anyone. Cats who are stuck indoors with nothing to do can even become destructive if they're frustrated enough. A bored cat will always find their own means of entertainment. This isn't good when it comes to your furniture, curtains, or your toes if your cat thinks they look interesting. Many cats will nap the day away if you leave them at home alone. While this is great for making sure they're comfortable on their own, it does mean they don't get to burn off their energy. We mentioned earlier that playing with your cat is a good way to show you love them. Providing them with a variety of different activities is another. When you're not at home, consider leaving some toys your cat can play with alone. Puzzle toys, for example, will keep their brain active and their attention off your absence. But you can also do something simple, like a DIY cat fort made from cardboard, or even a cat tree by a window for your bird-watching expert feline. The more activities your cat has, the happier they'll be, and the more they'll know you love them. Number 14. High on love. If your cat is used to the same old toys, catnip is a great way to enrich their day. It's healthy for them too. Catnip can encourage even the laziest cat to get up and move around. They'll be able to burn off some energy, fight off the pounds, and spend some time playing with you. Only 50 to 80% of cats react to catnip. If your cat isn't responsive to it or becomes aggressive, consider trying Silvervine instead. It's a safe, natural alternative that has similar effects. Silvervine also works on many of the cats who don't react to catnip at all. Number 15. Feline Manicure 101. Enrichment activities don't just include plenty of toys or a few catnip treats now and then. There are some other essentials you'll need to show your cat you love them. We mentioned grooming them earlier, but you should also provide them with opportunities to maintain their claws. Scratching is an instinctive behavior for cats. It keeps their claws in tip-top condition and removes bits that might be flaking off. Without proper surfaces to scratch, your furniture is going to get the brunt of your cat's scratching habit. Your cat doesn't understand why they're not allowed to scratch the couch. Instead, make sure you have lots of appropriate scratching posts for your cat to tear into. Scratching posts can be made from cardboard, a fan favorite for any kitty, or sisal or jute rope. You can even make your own. Spread the scratching posts around the house to give your cat plenty to occupy their claws with. With their claws so well managed, they might reward you with a freshly caught mouse. Hopefully, they remember you prefer the toy one. Number 16. Speak cat and enter. There might be a pretty big language barrier between us and cats, but with a little work, you'll be able to understand what your cat is trying to tell you. When all is said and done, telling your cat you love them means listening to them. It'll even help you mimic their way of speaking so they can understand you too. Body language is key when it comes to understanding. From their nose to the tip of their tail, cats are incredibly expressive. Soft eyes, a relaxed posture, and forward-facing ears are all signs of friendliness. Butting their head against your hand is a request for pets. And a happy chirp when they see you is a clear hello. Watch out for the danger signs, though. Hissing is an obvious warning, but pay close attention to their tail. If it's whipping from side to side, it's time to back off. Don't worry. You likely didn't do anything wrong. Your cat just felt overwhelmed. They'll appreciate you giving them space and be ready for pets again before you know it. Reading your cat's body language doesn't just help you tell your cat you love them. It's the perfect way to know what they're thinking. So here's the thing. Your cat has emotional needs and only you can satisfy them. It can sometimes be easy in the busy hustle and bustle of human life to unintentionally neglect your kitty's emotional needs. Many cat owners only find out that they've been doing so after the bond between them and their cat has already been damaged, potentially irreversibly. Luckily, there are a few simple things you can do that will make your cat instantly appreciate you more, starting with this really fun one. Number 1. Studies have shown that cats respond to the voices of their cat parents more than they do to the voices of strangers. You're not imagining it. Your kitty really does recognize your voice. But scientists have also found that cats respond to certain tones more than others. Specifically, cats really like baby talk. This isn't as strange as it sounds. When people use baby talk, they tend to speak more slowly and use a higher pitch. They also often lower their volume. Cats evolved to hunt creatures like rodents and small birds, animals that tend to make high-pitched squeaking and chirping noises. As a result, their ears are naturally adapted to hearing high-pitched noises. Meanwhile, the the slow voice and quiet tone come across as calming and relaxing to your cat. Number 2. Boop. If you have more than one cat in your home and they get along well together, you might have been fortunate enough to see the two of them kissing. Except they're not kissing with their lips, they're kissing with their noses. Nose booping is a way that cats exchange scents with the people and cats that they love, reaffirming each other's statuses as members of the same family group. You can send this message of love to your own cat by gently booping their nose with your finger. Just make sure that you move slowly and gently so that you don't accidentally hurt your cat. Their noses can be sensitive, and we humans can so easily forget our own strength. Number 3. Do you ever notice your kitty staring at you from across the room and wonder what their deal is? Ever catch their eye and see them slowly blink like they're trying to tell you something? They are. A slow blink, also known as a cat kiss, is your cat's way of expressing their love and asking you if you feel the same way. To reassure your cat and return their affection, meet their gaze and slowly blink back. Number 4. Speaking of cat communication, one activity that you might not think of when coming up with things to do with your feline friend is reading to them. That's right, although your cat probably isn't as eager as you are to find out what happens next in your favorite murder mystery thriller series, they might still appreciate having you read it aloud to them. Your cat can't understand the exact words you're saying, but they will be able to tell from your tone that you are happy and engaged, which will reassure them that everything is right with the world. Also, although cats can use small bouts of eye contact to express affection, as we mentioned previously, prolonged staring tends to make them uncomfy. If you're reading a book, then you have to look at the page, which ensures a lot of breaks in eye contact between you and your fur baby. Number 5. Cats may not be as famous as dogs when it comes to tracking, but with a sense of smell that is 14 times more sensitive than that of a human, they're not exactly bad at it. To test your fur baby's sniffing skills, why not try setting up a fun treasure hunt? Hide some of your cat's favorite treats or toys. Catnip toys work best for this, and watch them try to sniff them out. Number 6. Most of a cat's favorite games involve pretending to hunt, and setting up ways for them to do that will ensure that you continue to be their favorite person. Try setting aside time each day to dangle some string for them to run after, or even invest in a remote-controlled mouse toy for them to hunt down. Some cats will even enjoy a game of fetch, played with a felt mouse or toy ball. Number 7. If your cat seems to spend a lot of time sitting in the sink, you might want to try turning on the faucet for them. The wild ancestors of our domestic cats evolved to prefer running sources of water, like streams and rivers, over stagnant sources like puddles and ponds, because running water in nature is usually cleaner. Certain breeds of cat, like Maine Coons, are especially drawn to faucets and fountains. If your cat seems like they might appreciate it, you can even try getting them a water fountain of their very own so that they can have a nice cool drink whenever they want. Number 8. Your cat loves new toys, but you can't keep buying them. You need to pay for food and electricity as well. But don't worry, there's a solution. Simply remove some of the toys that your cat doesn't play with as much and hide them for a week or two. When you reintroduce them, your cat will react like they're new toys. You can then sneakily remove some of the others and start the cycle again. Rotating your kitty's toys ensures that they always have something new to play with without you having to break the bank. Number 9. Everybody wants a little place of their own, and your kitty is no different. Cats are prey animals, and as such they derive comfort from being snuggled up in small enclosed spaces where they feel safe from predators. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You can buy your cat a veritable chateau from the range of cat dens you'll find at most pet stores, but most kitties will be just as happy, if not more so, with a homemade house made out of a cardboard box with a towel draped over it for privacy and a blanket inside for coziness. Number 10. You might have seen this trend on TikTok. If you have an old toothbrush that you're about to throw out, definitely don't use one that you ever intend on putting in your mouth again. Trust us. Then clean it thoroughly to make sure there isn't any toothpaste left on the bristles. Wet it under the faucet, and then use it to gently brush your cat's fur. To your cat, the bristles will feel like papillae, the tiny spines that cover a cat's tongue and act like a comb when they groom themselves. Doing this will remind them of their mom grooming them when they were a kitten and will ensure that you get all their love and affection. Number 11. Getting your cat high might not sound like the healthiest thing to do, but fortunately, catnip, unlike many human drugs, has no negative health effects. You can buy powdered catnip or toys stuffed with it at most pet stores. Not all cats are affected by it, but if your cat is one of the lucky 70 to 80%, then the mere sniff of it will be enough to have them lying down blissed out of their minds. Scientists have no way of knowing exactly what is going through your kitty's mind when they're in a catnip haze, but given that the movements they make while on it will often mimic the movements they'd make during mating rituals, it's safe to say that the sensation they're feeling is pretty euphoric. Number 12. Cats don't quite qualify as tree-dwelling mammals, but they certainly like to spend a lot of their time up off the ground. If you want to make your home more feline-friendly, you can do it by utilizing the vertical space. Cat trees are a good way to give your cat somewhere to practice their climbing skills, but you can also set up bridges and pathways along your walls to give your kitty an off-the-ground highway. Think of it like a larger, open-air version of those tubes that hamsters run around in. If you're looking for a cheaper option, however, you can also try clearing space on the shelves you already have in your home and repurposing them as cat perches, complete with cozy cushions or blankets. Just make sure you don't keep anything too delicate on the surrounding shelves and ensure that there is some kind of furniture nearby that you don't mind your kitty using as a ladder to climb up there. Since cats express their affection in ways very different from us, it makes sense that we often miss these precious moments. Not only that, but some of these signs can even be perceived as indications of hate. So if you've ever wondered whether your cat loves you, here are 9 weird but sure-proven signs that they do. Although their actions are odd, they're certainly no less meaningful. Number 1. Pay attention to what they scratch. When you notice your cat scratching away at your favorite chair or the edge of your bed, there's more going on than meets the eye. Cats have scent glands in their paws, so every time they scratch, they're not just tearing up your furniture, they're actually leaving little scented post-it notes that say, "I was here, and I love this spot." This is their way of mixing their scent with yours, creating a cozier shared space. Think of it as your cat saying "our house" every time they scratch your belongings. It might be a bit rough on your furniture, but it's their quirky way of showing love by intertwining their presence with yours, especially in places that smell strongly of you. They're essentially treating your home like a big scrapbook of their favorite moments and places. Scratching also serves as a kitty stress reliever and a way for them to communicate. When your cat scratches something right in front of you, they might be trying to grab your attention or show off a bit. Observing where and when your cat scratches can give you a peek into how they're feeling and how they try to weave you into their world. Number 2. They pee on things when you leave. While returning home to find unexpected puddles of cat pee isn't anyone's idea of a warm welcome, your cat isn't trying to ruin your day. They're actually expressing that you're a vital part of their family. Cats are all about territory, and peeing is their way of marking their boundaries. When they decorate your clothes or your favorite chair, they're not being vindictive. They're just making sure the place smells like home. Your absence leaves a scent gap that makes them anxious. So when you're gone, they try to fill that gap by leaving their own mark around your things. They're blending their scent with yours to create a home sweet home fragrance that makes them feel secure and cozy while you're away. It's also their way of reaching out to you. Even if it's a bit of a messy message, it's their way of keeping you close and reinforcing that bond they cherish so much. Number 3. Pay attention to where they sleep. Cats are notorious nappers, catching up to 16 hours of sleep daily. Since they're at their most vulnerable while snoozing, the spot they choose to curl up in tells a lot about where they feel safe and secure. If your cat makes a beeline for your lap or chest for a cat nap, take it as a huge compliment. They're not just soaking up your warmth, they're showing you just how much they trust you. Their sleeping habits can also give you clues about their mood and health. If your cat switches from napping in shared, open spaces to hiding in secluded areas, they might be feeling stressed or under the weather. On the other hand, if your cat starts sleeping in more open areas, it's a sign of growing confidence and contentment. Number 4. Does your cat bite you? It might not be for the reasons you think. When people get bitten, they usually take it negatively, but cats have their own unique way of showing affection. When your cat gives you those gentle nibbles, they're actually sending little love notes in their own quirky language. This playful biting is a world away from the more serious, fear-driven biting you might get if your cat feels threatened or upset. These affectionate nibbles, often called love bites, are a funny and adorable trait of our feline friends. They might happen when you're giving them a belly rub or when you're just lounging together. Think of it as your cat's way of engaging in a bit of light-hearted banter with you, their beloved human. However, it's also important to recognize the difference between these loving nibbles and a real bite. A love bite is typically gentle, often accompanied by purring or other playful behavior. On the other hand, a defensive bite is usually more forceful, followed by hissing or growling. Number 5. They back it up in your face. When your cat sticks their rear end right in your face, it might seem a bit cheeky, but in the world of cats, this is actually a big compliment. They use their tail area to communicate and identify each other by scent. By turning around and raising their tail, they're giving you access to this personal scent, a privilege they reserve only for those they trust the most. It means your cat feels super safe around you, willing to show their most vulnerable side. So even if it's not the most glamorous form of affection, it's a clear indication that you've earned a special place in their heart. Number 6. The waltz. If you've ever found yourself doing the nearly tripped shuffle as your cat weaves around your legs, you're witnessing a little move we like to call the waltz. When cats rub up against you, they're leaving their scent, which is their way of saying, "You're my favorite human." If they're constantly waltzing between your legs, they've decided your legs now belong to them. It's also a show of trust and comfort. By weaving around your legs, your cat is making themselves vulnerable, which they only do with people they trust completely. Number 7. Question mark. The question mark tail is one of the cutest signs of affection your cat can offer. When your furry buddy raises their tail high with a playful little hook at the tip, it's their invitation to interact. It shows that your cat is in a great mood, feeling playful and secure with you around. The slight curve at the top signals that they're not just happy, they're curious and ready to engage. You'll often see this tail pose during joyful moments, like when you're about to play together or give them their beloved head scratches or treats. It's a subtle yet clear sign that they feel comfortable enough to be their quirky selves around you. Number 8. Have you seen their belly? Have you ever had your cat flop down at your feet and flaunt their belly, or perhaps spotted them snoozing belly up in the sunniest spot of the room? When your cat shows you their belly, they're revealing their most vulnerable side, a true testament to their trust in you. But while a belly display is a clear sign of affection, it's not necessarily a green light for a belly rub. Many cats, despite their deep affection for you, might not appreciate your hands wandering into their soft underbelly. It's all about reading the room, or the cat in this case. Some cats might welcome the occasional gentle stroke on the belly, while others treat their tummy like a look but don't touch exhibit. Number 9. Dubious gifts. Cats are natural hunters, born with an instinct to chase and capture. But have you ever noticed how your cat seems a bit concerned about your rather poor hunting skills? When your cat brings you their prey, whether it's a toy or an actual mouse, it's like they're trying to take care of you, teaching you the ropes of feline fine dining. If you're the proud parent of an indoor cat, you might find yourself the lucky recipient of random household items, balled-up socks, crumpled paper, or even that missing hair tie. It's as if your cat is saying, "I noticed you haven't been hunting lately, so I got this for you. You're welcome." They see these items as their catch of the day, and sharing it with you is their way of contributing to the household. For the adventurers who roam outdoors, it can get a bit more graphic. Bringing home actual prey, like birds or mice, is their way of showing off their hunting prowess and sharing their success with you. It's a cat's way of ensuring you're well fed and looked after, even if their gifts make you squirm more than smile. What kind of person do cats really love? Many people assume it's the one who feeds them. After all, isn't that what we're always told? Pop culture would have us believe our cats only stick around for the free meals, without much real affection in return. But here's the truth. Food isn't the only thing that makes a cat love you. If you've ever worried your cat only sees you as a walking food dispenser, this video will set your mind at ease. We're diving into the traits that truly make cats fall for their humans, and how you can become irresistible to your feline friend. And before we jump in, don't forget to subscribe and join our community of fellow cat lovers for more tips on keeping your kitty happy. Not just food. First of all, let's debunk this food myth once and for all. Your kitty absolutely values you for more than just your ability to feed them. The kinds of people who argue otherwise will often claim that cat lovers are overly sentimental, and may even accuse us of anthropomorphizing our pets and projecting feelings onto them that aren't really there. But in fact, they're the ones who are being unscientific. In a 2017 study, shelter cats were given a choice between 4 kinds of stimuli: some delicious food, some fun toys, an interesting scent, and a friendly human. 50% of the cats went straight for the human, even when it wasn't a human that they knew personally. Less than half went for the food. This study proved beyond a doubt that cats are capable of caring about more than just their next meal, but chances are you've seen evidence of this in your own home. No matter how excited your kitty gets when it's time for dinner, they probably don't get more excited than they do when playing or cuddling with you. What do cats like? We're now going to look at the 5 traits that will most impact whether a cat enjoys a person's company. Number 1. Voice. If you've ever dropped something and seen your cat practically jump up to the ceiling and then run off to the other end of the house, you'll know that cats are not fans of loud noises. This isn't too surprising. Cats have very sensitive hearing, almost 6 times more sensitive than a human's. And so a noise that is loud to us can be deafening to them. As a result, cats prefer people with quieter voices who don't tend to shout or talk too loudly. Being calm is also important. Cats are very sensitive to the emotions of the humans around them, and they can tell when we're getting excited. Excited humans to a cat are slightly unnerving, not least because our voices tend to get louder when our emotions go up. They know that you would never hurt them on purpose, but the fact remains that you are over 6 times their size. An excited human is a human who might be less cautious with their movements and could end up accidentally stepping on their kitty's tail. Surprisingly, they also prefer higher-pitched voices. A cat's hearing is adapted to hear much higher-pitched sounds than a human. A human's hearing range only goes up to 20,000 Hz, whereas a cat's goes all the way up to 64,000 Hz. By comparison, however, the lowest sounds a cat can hear are 45 Hz, while we humans can pick up sounds as low as 20 Hz. This discrepancy is primarily due to the kinds of prey that cats tend to go for. Mice and small birds make high-pitched squeaking or chirping noises, so those are the pitches that cats evolved to hear. Because high-pitched noises are easier for cats to pick up, high-pitched voices sound clearer to them. As a result, cats will often prefer women over men, and respond best when talked to in baby talk. Those of you who are looking for an excuse to keep on calling your cat a fuzzy-wuzzy whittle baby without shame, You're welcome. Number 2. Movement. How you move to a cat is arguably more important than how you sound. A lot of kitty communication happens via body language rather than vocalization, and as we mentioned before, they can be very sensitive towards their personal human's body language and what it says about their emotional state. Cats prefer slow, calm movements for the same reasons that you'd probably prefer an elephant stick to slow, calm movements if they were interacting with you. Not only are we gigantic, but from a cat's perspective, we can't see that well. We're shamefully bad at seeing in the dark, to the chagrin of many a poor cat who's been tripped over during their human's nighttime trip to the bathroom. And our heads are so far off the ground that we sometimes risk stepping on them even in daylight. For the same reason, cats often prefer that we crouch down when interacting with them. This makes us much less intimidating. Remember that a cat's go-to way to respond to threats is to fluff up their coat and arch their back to make themselves look bigger. Us making ourselves look smaller, therefore, can be taken as kind of the opposite of that, a sign that we want to be friends. Number 3. Touch. You might assume that cats would prefer to hang out with whichever person gives them the most pets, but that's not necessarily the case. The thing that cats prioritize the most when it comes to being touched is actually whether the human touching them respects their personal boundaries. Cats are very keen on making sure that their sense of autonomy is respected. They generally won't appreciate being randomly pet unless they know the human very well, and will otherwise prefer to hang out with people who give them a chance to sniff their hands first, to make sure that they're on the level. Once you've been given the go-ahead, the next thing to remember is where to pet. Try to stick to the top of the head and the neck when petting an unfamiliar cat. Once they get to know you better, you can move on to the base of the tail. A lot of cats really love being pet on this part of their body, but because it's a sensitive area of their body, they can be touchy when it comes to strangers touching them there. Finally, if you're someone who is more used to interacting with dogs, be careful about how much pressure you apply. People who spend a lot of time with dogs tend to be used to petting harder than cats will appreciate. A cat has a more delicate skeleton than a dog, and so they're less able to stand up to that kind of treatment. If you're in doubt, err on the gentler side. Number 4. Smell. Ultimately, the sense that cats depend on the most when navigating the world around them is their sense of smell. A cat's sense of smell is 14 times more sensitive than yours, and so they tend to be very uncomfortable with strong smells, like those of citrus fruits, or harsh ones, like the chemical smells of cleaning products. If you smell anything like that, then cats are less likely to get along with you. But there are some smells that cats do enjoy. You might be expecting us to say food smells here, but actually, science has discovered that a lot of flower and plant smells can be very good for attracting cats. Flowers like lavender and roses work well, as does mint, which is a member of the catnip family and so often a cat's favorite. Number 5. Attitude. If you've ever had friends over to meet your cat, you'll have noticed the feline tendency to shun all the humans in the room who are desperate to spoil them with snacks and snuggles, and instead make a beeline for the one person in the room who doesn't want a cat to come anywhere near them. Whether it's due to allergies, fancy clothes, or a feline phobia, cats are keen to get as close as possible. Why? Simple. It's an issue with body language. Remember that we said that most feline communication happens through body language? In cat body language, the way that you show somebody that you like them and want to be friends is to sit at a slight distance from them, pretend to be as uninterested as possible in their activities, and only let them know your interest by occasionally glancing across at them, with no eye contact, and then quickly looking away again. This, coincidentally, is the exact same way that humans communicate that they don't want somebody to come near them. There's a misconception out there that I find frustrating, the idea that cats are aloof and unloving. All of you cat parents who subscribe to this channel know how much this isn't true, But even you might not realize quite how much your cat loves you, because cats can be a lot more subtle than certain other pets. When it comes to expressing their feelings for us, these are signs that your cat loves you more than you realize. The classic signs of cat love. There are a few classic signs that your cat loves you, bits of body language I've talked about in some of our other recent videos. There's slow blinks. There's love bites. There's kneading and showing you their belly, following you around, vocalizing with you, and giving you gifts. By which I mean dumping dead birds on the floor and expecting you to be happy about it. Because yes, if you've not had a chance to watch those videos yet, biting you and making biscuits on you are scientifically proven to be cat language for displays of affection. We're going to focus on a few of these again. For those of you who might have missed some of my other videos, then we'll talk about some other lesser-known signs of cat love a bit later on in the video. But first up, 1. Slow blinks. So, to kick things off, I'm going to go through a few habits we've discussed a little bit recently on the channel in some other videos as they're also applicable here. And then, a little later in the video, we'll do a deeper dive into some other signs we've not had much of a chance to talk about yet. Ones you definitely won't be familiar with. But now let's talk about those adorable slow blinks your cat does. There is a reason why those slow blinks that cats do get nicknamed cat kisses. And that's because they basically are the feline version of a kiss. It's one of most well-documented signs of feline affection, and according to cat expert Jackson Galaxy in research he published in the journal Scientific Reports, slow blinking mimics a relaxed state and signals trust. He even suggests you try returning the gesture by slow blinking back to strengthen your bond with your fur baby. Worth a shot, right? 2. Love bites. If your cat bites you hard, this is a clear sign of aggression, or possibly overstimulation. But if it's a gentle nibble that doesn't break the skin, there is no need to worry at all. Cat experts literally call these love bites because they are a well-documented way in which your cat plays with you and expresses their affection. Sure, they might accidentally go too far, but this is never the intent. Playful nibbling is a form of innocent play fighting that goes all the way back to how they used to behave with their mothers, and their willingness to do it with you is definitely not the attack it might feel like at times. 3. Bunting. We are all familiar with that adorable moment when a cat headbutts us. As aggressive of an act as it might come across as, this is a classic example of cats expressing their love. This activity, known as bunting, is your cat's way of spreading some of their scent onto you, effectively marking you as theirs because they love you. Veterinary behaviorist Dr. Amy Shojai has said that bunting is one of the most powerful ways a cat can show both their trust in you and affection for you, as it is essentially their way of saying, "You're mine, and I love you." 4. Following you around. Does your cat follow you from room to room? As much as I don't want to come across like I'm condoning stalking, this is a very clear sign that they love your company and want to be around you. Sure, it might feel like they're only following you because they want something. Food normally? But certified cat expert Dr. Mikel Delgado has noted in her works that cats will often shadow a human that they see as a great source of companionship and safety. So as weird as it may be when your fur baby follows you into the bathroom, remind yourself that they love you so much that they even want to spend time with you when you're trying to pee. Sort of hypocritical considering how much our cats like to be left alone when it's their time to pee, but hey, what can you do? But if a cat follows you around without a care in the world for your privacy, it is a very clear sign that you are their favorite human. But as I mentioned earlier in the video, there are a few other, far deeper signs of love that really hammer home just quite how deeply your fluffball does adore you. Signs you might be less familiar with than some of these classics. Most notably, did you know cats have a whole secret language they convey through the position of their whiskers, and a second secret language they convey through the shape of their tail? We'll talk more about both of those in a bit, but first, 1. Playing favorites. Have you noticed that your fur baby is always choosing you over other people? If you have friends around, do they choose your lap instead of anybody else's? If you live with other people, like a partner, does your cat always pick you? Do they sometimes slink into the room and totally snub everyone else because they're far too interested in bunting into your legs? You're not crazy for thinking this means they love you more. It's a very clear sign that this is totally the case. Cats are highly selective about who they trust. They are, to be blunt, kind of snobs. They won't tolerate any old riffraff. Oh no, they have standards. In fact, research from the University of Lincoln has highlighted that many cats tend to gravitate towards people who not only respect them, but try to communicate with them on their terms. So if in busy rooms your fur baby is always choosing you over everyone else, this is how you know that you have made them feel respected. So they are matching that with love and attention. Take great pride in being your cat's chosen fave. 2. Sharing their favorite spots. Cats are highly territorial animals. If they like a space, they will claim that space is theirs and theirs alone, like the pint-sized dictators they are. And any attempt to shake up that status quo could trigger Game of Thrones levels of proprietorial conquest and combat. If they have a favorite spot in the house, it is so much more than just a place they like to sit. It is almost sacred to them. But sometimes your cat might share those sacred spots with you. They might literally meow at you, encouraging you to come over and join them. Or if you have sat down in said spot before they got there, they might be oddly chill about it instead of kicking off and trying to claim their land back. In the cat world, this is a huge deal. Do not take this lightly. It is their equivalent of inviting someone into their home. It is trust and love for the highest order. 3. Waiting for you. But sometimes it's not about where you are, but where your cat wants you to be. Does your cat wait patiently by the door while you are gone, eager for your return? Do you sometimes open the bathroom door to find them on the other side, waiting for you to be done? Well, you don't need an expert to tell you that this behavior is a clear sign of their eagerness to see you again. True love, if it exists. But guess what? We'll quote an expert anyway to really hammer the point. Dr. Kristen Vitale has done a lot of research on feline social habits, and she notes that cats can actually form attachments to their human parents that are nearly identical in intensity to the ones we normally associate with children and dogs. And a very common way of expressing that in all three of those creatures is in waiting around for you when you are gone, because they simply cannot cope with not being with you. Not so sure I should have just called human babies creatures, but what can you do? 4. Sitting on your belongings. But sometimes your cats don't sit by the door, like a good feline friend. Instead, they sit on literally anything and everything you own. Need your favorite red sweater? No luck. Gizmo is sitting on it. Trying to type on your laptop? No luck. Miss Whiskers is sitting on it. But don't get irritated by this curious habit just yet, because it might not actually be the irritating act of rebellion and annoyance it seems like. It might actually be a sign that they really love you. Cats are really drawn to scents. And if they love you, they love yours. And your scent is on everything you own, even though you can't smell it. Cats, with their superior noses, definitely can. So, they are drawn to items that smell like you, as being near them makes your cat feel like they are connected with you, even when you're not paying attention to them. And what is desperation to be around someone, if not love? This is a belief shared by feline behavior expert Pam Johnson-Bennett, so it's one with a lot of weight. 5. Initiating playtime. Play is so much more than just fun for your fluffy bundles of joy. It is a serious bonding activity. If you initiate play, they are over the moon to join in. But sometimes, they're the ones to kick things off. This is a very big deal. According to cat behavior specialist Dr. Mikel Delgado, whose work I'll be talking about in a lot more detail in a future video, so stay tuned for that, play is such an essential part of a cat's social life that if they choose to bring you a toy or attempt to engage you in play in another way, they are effectively inviting you to be a part of their world, and it should be taken as a colossal compliment. Cats will only be the ones to start a play session with individuals, either human or other cats, that they feel totally safe around. It's so much more than messing around. It's a real sign that your cat's love for you is deep. 6. Watching you intently. Be it a romantic partner, some gorgeous scenery, or just a movie we enjoy, we all like to look at the things we love, to drink them up with our eyes, as it were. Cats are no different. If they love something or someone, be it their favorite toy or another cat who lives in the house, they will observe it with extreme focus. You've probably spotted your cat doing this, diligently observing something like they're scared it will vanish if they blink. You've probably been on the receiving end of these 1,000-yard stares yourself. You might have been trying to go about your life, to live a normal day, but your precious fluffball is staring at you like a captivated audience during a particularly enthralling night at the theater. It can feel intense at times, possibly even creepy, to have an animal stare at you for long periods, almost like they're studying you. But it's not random. There's actual science behind it, science that proves they are ogling you because they adore you. A study conducted by researchers at Kyoto University found that cats have a very impressive ability to track their humans' movements and are far more socially aware than they're normally given credit for. When they gawp at you for long stretches of time, it is thought they are making an active attempt to learn more about your rhythms, routines, and moods so that they can do a better job of interacting with you. Because yes, they love you. So the next time you catch your cat staring, know that they're simply fascinated by you because they love you to pieces. Not that they'd ever admit it, of course. No. That sort of unsubtle communication is for dogs. 7. Watching over you. Sometimes this habit of watching you can extend to watching over you. If you've woken up at a weird hour, you might have spotted your cat perching somewhere, possibly high up. That gives them a good POV over you. It might look like they are guarding you like a fluffy CCTV camera. Well, there's an argument to be had that they are. This is thought to be them showing their protective instincts and endeavoring to watch out for danger so that they can protect you from it. Why? Because they love you, of course. So naturally, they want to protect you. In an interview with National Geographic animal behaviorist Dr. John Bradshaw, explains that cats develop strong attachments to their owners. And the reason why we sometimes assume they don't is because they express themselves very differently to dogs. Holding a sort of silent vigil over you, quietly ensuring you are safe, is, according to Dr. Bradshaw, a very clear demonstration of love. Just a very different sort of love to our canine friends. 8. Silent companionship. While I'm on the subject of silently watching, your cat just being silent with you in general is normally a very clear sign that they really do love you. Which may sound odd, but there's logic to it. As I say a lot on this channel, it's important to think about yourself and some of your habits. Because while much of feline behavior is a frustrating enigma that must be solved, one harder than guessing the daily Wordle in just one attempt, some of it is roughly the same as human behavior. So think of yourself. Think of the people you love most. You're not worried about awkward silences with them. You don't mind sitting in silence with them, do you? That's because when you truly love someone, when you are truly at peace with them, there's no real need to constantly draw attention to the fact you are together, because you are comfortable enough and safe enough with each other that simply existing within one another's presence is a joy. It's the same with your bond with your cat. If your cat enjoys simply being near you without demanding attention, that's them showing a deep sense of comfort and contentment. 9. The position of their whiskers. Let's talk about vibrissae, or to use a less scientific word, cat whiskers. We all know that whiskers are a crucial sensory tool our cats have at their disposal. Embedded deep into your cat's skin, connected to a colossal network of nerve endings, whiskers allow cats to navigate their way around their environment with precision, aiding in everything from hunting and communication. But what you might not know is that their exact position can offer intriguing insights into your cat's thoughts and feelings, including what they think and feel about you. The main thing to keep an eye out for is forward-pointing whiskers. If your cat's whiskers are fanned out and directed forward, this is commonly accepted as a sign of curiosity. Whiskers in this position can often indicate that your cat is pretty actively exploring something that interests them. So if your cat's whiskers are like this when they are looking at you, they are curious about you and interested in you. Both common signs of love. If the whiskers are in this position while your cat engages in other more obvious signs of affection, such as bunting, purring and nuzzling, well, there is no doubt to be had. Your fur ball is totally besotted with you, and the position of the whiskers is just the icing on the cake. The other whisker position to watch out for is droopy and relaxed whiskers when your cat is in close proximity with you. This is normally a sign of total comfort and trust, a lowering of their guard, which can be reasonably associated with affection, because none of us feel comfy around those we don't have affection for, right? Given the hypersensitivity of a cat's whiskers and the other things they use them for, it's vital to not focus solely on them when trying to determine your cat's level of comfort around you. 10. Their tail. A cat's tail is one of the most expressive parts of their body. It can often reveal how they are truly feeling in a situation. It is a barometer of their mood, and when it comes to expressing love, one of their most reliant tools. For example, an upright tail with just a slight curl at the top is commonly accepted as a clear sign that the cat is expressing their affection. Nicknamed the question mark tail due to its shape, feline behaviorist Pam Johnson-Bennett has pointed out that a cat's tail will often form into this shape when they are approaching someone they love. So, be sure to look at your cat's tail as they stride towards you. Is it shaped like a question mark? If so, don't mistake that for a sign their body is asking you a question. Their body is actually making a clear statement. Hello, human. I love you. A cat's tail has many ways of revealing how they're feeling. For example, they might be trying to look grumpy and angry because you've not fed them, but their tail is happily swooshing away because in truth they're happy as Larry, whoever he is. Learning the intricate language of cat tails is a bit of a cheat code to reading your cat's mind. One of the more obvious and well-known examples is a small, subtle flick of the tail. This is generally considered a sign that your cat is both relaxed and content. So, if they're doing that in your company, well then it's clear as day that they feel very at ease around you. While a frantically thrashing tail could be a sign they are grumpy or irritated, these slow and gentle flicks is a subconscious way your cat notices your presence and reacts by saying, "I'm happy you're here." No matter how standoffish they can be at times, your cat really does love you, so much more than you realize. They want to be around you all the time, which is one of the many reasons they might annoyingly wake you up at 3 a.m., though it's not the only reason they might. To learn about some of the others, be sure to watch this next video.